Hello, YouTubers. Skinny Zach K here of Skinny Zach Films. Duh. And I am here with my good friend
Mike Abler from the Mike Abler YouTube channel.
YouTube.com/Mike Abler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was in my Suicide Squad review. So, yeah, that really long one that I'm sure...
It won't be this long, I swear.
That I'm sure that only less than half of you actually watched all the way through. Hopefully this one won't be that long.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So we saw Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Yeah.
Pretty much after everyone else has seen it.
Well, I mean, life happened, holidays, and yeah.
Yeah, we had the exams and stuff like that before all that. It was the holiday season and everything. It was a busy schedule, I still haven't seen Doctor Strange. Well, anyway, so let's talk about plot. Oh hey, Abby. There's my dog is here.
Yeah.
Hey, big girl.
And she loves me.
Okay, so let's talk about plot. Mike, what is the plot of Rogue One?
The plot that everyone knew before the movie got released. It's basically setting up Episode 4, which is how they got the Death Star plans.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's about it. Yeah, that's basically the plot. For what it was alright. It seemed a bit rushed. And so overall, what did we thought of the film? We thought it was.
Well, I'll say this: it wasn't as rushed as Force Awakens was. That went by like a bullet to me.
Are you sure? Really? I thought it was a little more at the end. I thought it was okay. I thought the film was okay.
I mean, nothing against. Before you guys try to kill me, nothing against Force Awakens, and nothing against this movie. I just feel like Force Awakens went by really fast, and this one had a comfortable pace to it.
Let's talk about characters. They were okay. Nothing really memorable.
I don't think we're gonna. I think it's really hard to get the good characters we got from the original trilogy.
And I thought the Force Awakens. I mean, some of the backstories were kind of barely there, but at least they were there. You don't really know anything about the characters in this movie.
I don't know. I think
other than Jyn, and even then, kind of only really kind of. You only know that she. Well, you only know who her father was.
Yeah,
and that's about it.
Yeah, and you don't really know who her mom is, and
the characters were okay. I the best character I think is the robot who's voiced by Alan Tudyk. Something like that. Tudyk, yeah. The comic relief, and he's pretty much the only main. He's basically where all the comedy comes from.
Yeah, but it was more like the wry, wisecracking humor.
Yeah. I liked. He was very sarcastic. I liked. His character. Yeah.
It's kind of like a badass C-3PO.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess that's a good comparison there. Yeah. All right. So, I thought the characters in Force Awakens were a bit more
developed.
Like you knew more about them. They were a little more. They were you didn't really get to see a lot of character with the characters, not as much as you saw at least in the previous movies. I think at least you knew where Rey came from. At least you knew Finn, and there wasn't a lot of back and forth. It was mostly
I think they kind of assumed that people knew most of the stories going in, so they just kind of went ahead with it. And I mean, in this movie, you do get some backstory on the main character, but
only some. You only really know.
Yeah, it's just basic bare bones.
Oh, that's what his dad did. That's what her dad did.
It's she was technically orphan. Yeah.
Okay, stop spoiling stuff, Michael. Gah! This is what he does, man. Okay, so. Okay, so the characters were kind of meh, but they weren't terrible, and and pretty much everyone did a pretty decent performance. We're gonna talk about the villains later. We're talking about that. We were just talking about the main guys there. So we're gonna talk about the main antagonist of the film, which is that dude in white. What was his name?
I don't even remember. I think I could say the main antagonist. I find it funny how he had a lot of confidence in himself, but he kept ruining things.
He has a lot of confidence, but then some. the character, the villain, he did a decent performance, but it just seems like nothing was going well for him.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like
it was kind of cool seeing like I don't think this is spoiling anything, but it was near the end there. It was kind of cool seeing like an Imperial guy like get in. He was kind of I'm gonna get a blaster and just gonna go over there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was kind of cool. It was like seeing it was funny seeing an officer, which is what he was doing, like getting in on the action there instead of just. He mostly just he just mostly gave orders throughout the film, like the Imperial commanders in the previous Star Wars movies. Mm-hmm. But in the end there, he kind of like you could.
Yeah, he actually did some of the dirty work himself, or at least made an
somewhat
attempt.
Somewhat of the dirty work. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, he at least made an attempt.
We'll get more into him in the spoilers section.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anything that you'd like to say about the
main
I can't remember his name.
Well,
hold on a second. Orson Krennic. Yeah. We just paused it to Google what his name was because we just saw it like an hour ago, but we can't remember the guy's name, and he was the main villain of the movie.
Well, then again, it's not like we forgot Darth Vader's name. That would be blasphemy.
Oh God, dude, you spoilers!
Oh no,
crap, Darth Vader, dude, no, he was. Okay.
Abby, it's okay. We're not going insane.
Okay, Orson Krennic, yeah. Commander Orson Krennic. Abby, what are you doing? Hold on a second. So, final thoughts on Orson Krennic. I thought he was okay. Pretty decent villain. I mean, he's no Darth Vader or anything like that. But it was kind of cool to see. He kind of got in more on the action there, and you see he was you got to see he was more frustrated because a lot of these commander guys, they're like, oh, I'm commander. They're more emotionless, but you could really tell that he's struggling and getting angry.
Yeah,
I think maybe he's a little slightly more human than some of the. It was kind of cool that they just had he was just he was like this leader who and he's not the boss, and he's like, you know what I mean?
He's kind of trying to prove himself.
Like his bosses both show up in the movie.
Yeah,
I think so. It's kind of cool to see him struggling. Like I could do this, but he's still a horrible monster. Just like the rest of them. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of okay. We'll get more into him later because it's very interesting. Okay, next.
Not really.
Let's talk about some of the new stuff. There's not a lot of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Let's get closer.
There's really not much new stuff, and anything that is new is only glanced over.
Yeah. I mean, the movie does seem to rely a lot on nostalgia, but it's setting up A New Hope. So I kind of understand that. Abby, what are you doing? My dog keeps on. Why do I keep saying our dog? You don't live here.
Abby thinks we're not being as praising of the movie.
It was the greatest movie ever. It broke new ground. It's genius. That scene at the ending, it made it the best. 1,000 out of 10. That's so many reviews of this movie say it was awesome. Ah, God. Abby apparently, I don't know.
I think I'll just say this. Wait, we still rolling?
What are we talking about?
I was gonna say for the people out there that are
the new stuff. There wasn't. I don't think there was that much new stuff.
No.
Well, they did. This one, if you're at all interested, like if you're into the Clone Wars cartoon, it did kind of do a lot. There's a lot of connections to that in this one.
Yeah,
it kind of does. This movie does. If you were really looking forward to like a live action Star Wars movie that actually shows a connection between the cartoons, the Clone Wars cartoon series. Mm-hmm. Or if you're in the prequels, there's some connections to the prequels in there. I don't know if anyone's into that. And to the original trilogy, there is some connections there. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was kind of cool. Like with Forrest Whitaker characters, this isn't spoilers. Everyone sees it now. Yeah, apparently he was His character was in Clone Wars,
which
a cartoon.
I never really watched it, so I just remember he's like, oh, it's Forrest Whitaker. Okay, let's see what he does. And yeah,
we'll get into that later in the spoilers. So yeah. Overall, let's see if that's all we're going to talk about. At least in the there was a lot of so not a lot of there was some what other new things were there?
Not much. Not really a whole lot. I mean, aside from the new characters, not much.
Yeah, the blind guy. I think there was some connections. God, let me think. Were those Imperial droids like in those the Alan Tudyk robot? I don't think.
Well, those little mouse robots.
Well, you got to see you kind of got to see what it was like, what planets were like under the occupation of the Empire. Like you get to see the Death Star orbit, or no, not the Death Star, like those Star Destroyers. It kind of looks like during Nazi Germany, you know? All these these. They're just patrolling. It's really. Yeah, so yeah,
Abby, come on.
My dog is like, oh my god. Okay, so not a lot. Okay, so there wasn't a lot of new stuff, but since it's a setup movie, I mean, I thought it was kind of a nostalgia fest, but I think they did. Okay, let's wrap. Why don't we just wrap this up? I think it's time we're going to wrap this up, and then we'll get into spoilers. Okay, so we both thought, to wrap this up, we thought the movie was decent. We didn't think it was really groundbreaking, really.
No.
It was an interesting perspective. It was it kind of showed a more different perspective, from the people of the galaxy to the events of of the Empire. It showed kind of somewhat of a different perspective.
Yeah,
but overall, it was mostly It was kind of a nostalgia fest. But they did do some kind of different stuff. Kind of showed you different stuff in that universe. If this is making any sense.
Yeah.
Okay, it was kind of a nostalgia fest, but it did good. It was decent. It did a decent job of that, and there was some stuff that I'm always like, "Oh, that's really cool." So it wasn't bad. I think that
it was a solid C in my opinion.
Well, really, Mike thinks it's a C. I'm not sure really. I'm still maybe a C plus, maybe a B, maybe a B. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure yet if I liked Force Awakens better or not. I mean, because I kind of liked the new. Well, honestly, they kind of use the same designs in the Empire, at least. But I thought it was fun. It was a fun movie. It was fun. It was a little. It kind of at the beginning. It kind of dragged on a bit. I think it was kind of boring at the beginning, but then it kind of catched up. And then I think it got a little too fast, but it was enjoyable. It wasn't bad. It was kind of a nostalgia fest, but I think it was a decent film.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. I wouldn't say it wasn't bad.
It wasn't.
It was a high. I think it was a high okay. Not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. That's that. Rogue One: A Star Wars Story is a high okay.
Yeah. Solid 3 stars
with some moments and some. Wow, it's kind of cool, awesome moments.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so there we go. And that's our non-spoiler review of it. I hope it made sense to you.
Yeah.
I hope. Okay. Let's get into spoilers. Oh, dude, they got the plans. They got the plans to the Death Star.
I mean, I know they set it up in Star Wars: A New Hope back in 1977, but who the would have known?
I'm totally gonna censor that to make it sound like you said the F word. I'm totally gonna do that. Oh god, this part's gonna be fun because it's just gonna be us just saying things now. Okay,
commence.
Oh, god, gosh dang it, Michael.
You might want to censor that as well.
Oh, maybe I won't. That is good. Okay. Let's. Okay, what do you want to talk about in these? Oh, the awesome epic Darth Vader scene that everyone has been talking about.
Yeah.
What did you think of that huge awesome moment apparently.
I think it deserves that title of being awesome.
Really? You think so? You don't think maybe people have overblown it?
Well, I mean, I'll say it was awesome, but if anyone's saying that it was ungodly great, okay, so, a little less coffee, sir.
It was cool. I was surprised that he only had. I was surprised, like how little they used him. Almost.
Well, you don't really need him to tell this story.
Well, they wanted him in there. Well, you got to come up with a reason why he was so angry, like why he was more angry than usual when he was looking for the plans, because he comes in there and he just kills all those people.
And not to mention, he just crushes this guy's throat.
Oh, yeah, he did. He just... Remember when he forced...
If this is a ship, where is the ambassador?
That was not in this movie. That line wasn't. But, yeah. Okay. I thought that was cool. I thought that thing they kept him in, that tube thing, that was, I don't know why they...
I'm not sure why they threw that in there.
I don't know. I thought it was cool. Maybe because it was in the trailer, so they wanted to throw you off.
Well, I mean...
Oh, and they made you want to think that Jin was going to turn to the dark side in the trailer with that Imperial outfit, but no, that was just a disguise so they can infiltrate the facility.
Yeah, I think if they really wanted to make this movie really good, I think they would have had that emotional dive into her story.
Yeah, they could have done. There could have been more.
Just like an extra 5 minutes, not an extra 20.
Krennic. We were going to talk about Krennic.
Yeah.
I kind of like him because he just gets so... He's not like the emotionless robot like you see in a lot of these Imperial commanders, like...
You may fire up when ready.
Yeah. Oh, we're talking about him, too.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool, like, he would flip out, like, but every time he would go to do something bad would happen that was bad for him.
Yeah, you know, so much bad luck. But
I'm going to now we're going to teach these scientists a lesson, and then every time he would go to do something would happen.
It's like a scientist. It's like a scientist working on chemicals saying this is going to work, and then it literally
he was interrogating those scientists, and then all of a sudden, and then that town gets blown up, and they're like, and Darth Vader makes some pants when that was so he was talking, Lord Vader, and then Darth Vader gets closer to him. Like, he just walks closer to him. He doesn't even do anything. He just walks towards him. Like, well, you see, Lord Vader. Then he gets closer. Well, Darth Vader gets even closer. How you see? And then he tries to pull it together.
I think my favorite Darth Vader, one of my favorite Darth Vader bits in this movie is when he gets mad at Krennic for messing up and he starts choking him. He's like, I hope you don't choke under pressure next time.
He did that cool thing where he doesn't even...
He's like the Force choke.
Like, he doesn't even move his hand. Like, Darth Vader isn't even facing him, and he just chokes him.
Yeah, but he turns around, and it's like, oh, he was clenching his hand up somewhere.
Yeah. That was epic. And then he kind of does this where in Rebels, where the lights turn on, and he just pulls out his lightsaber, and they're like, fire! They immediately... Yeah. Because I'm sure they don't know who he is, but you can tell, oh, crap, what is that? And then they fire. And then he kills all of them.
I mean, yeah, it was kind of cool because when that scene starts, all you see is nothing. You see a red light in the corner, and then you hear the breathing noise, smoke billowing. You hear nothing. The lightsaber shows up, and then, huzzah! I'm here to kill you.
Yeah, they really show his sense of humor in this too. At least in that scene where he's first talking with Krennic. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yeah.
Where he's like I think Krennic is saying it's just my time is valuable. And Darth Vader's like, oh, well, I'm sorry for... He says something like, oh, I'm sorry for... I don't mean to waste your time. Or something or something like that. And then he chokes him. What does he say?
It's like, I hope you don't choke under pressure next time.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of... Yeah, they showed his humor. I thought that was... there isn't a lot of humor in this movie other than the Alan Tudyk's...
Tudyk, yeah.
Other than Alan Tudyk's character, which is the K, that giant robot.
Yeah,
but the fact that they gave Darth Vader some of his wit, they just dry. Like, the Darth Vader's always had kind of like that dry wit, like remember, the Emperor isn't as forgiving as I am. Like that thing.
That was more like a harsh warning. That wasn't something.
Yeah, well, the way he said that though is just so. Well, I thought that was cool. So,
be very careful, Sonny.
So I liked how little he was in it. I thought they did pretty good with Darth Vader there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Krennic, yeah. Poor guy. I almost felt sorry for him. Almost. I was glad when he died because bad guy, obviously. Take him out. But I mean, because you're supposed to want him to lose, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's still an Imperial guy because he let all he just he shares a lot with his boss. When he says, well, I guess you'll all die then if none of you are going to admit that you're a traitor. Okay, then I guess you'll all die. Mm-hmm. And then he comes out and says, I did it. And then he kills all of them anyway.
Yeah.
So very much like his employer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of his employer, CGI Tarkin, Peter Cushing. Yeah. I thought it was actually. I don't know. I thought it looked pretty good.
I don't know why people are saying, "Oh, it looked terrible," or not.
I thought it's okay.
It looked good.
The only reason it's really distracting is because Peter Cushing's been dead for 20 years.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, CGI, the effect held up for 97 to 99% of the time.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, obviously it's not perfect, but it was pretty freaking close.
Yeah.
It's just same with The Force Awakens with Maz.
Whatever her name
was, you knew that she was CG because you could tell because everything else was practical. But if everything wasn't practical, then you would think that's pretty good CGI.
Yeah,
it's only distracting because everything else is pretty much practical. And that thing is CGI, and I thought they did pretty good. And whoever did the dubbing or whatever, did a pretty good job.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to have him in there because he was the head guy.
Yeah,
and it was just before the move, just before A New Hope. So yeah, I thought he was still a pretty. He just blew up the. He was just. He says a line. You may fire when ready, and he just. Well, goodbye. I was what's gonna happen to Krennic? Oh, okay, that's what happened to Krennic. Fire when ready.
Yeah, it's either he knew Krennic was down there and didn't care, or he's like, whatever, just blow it up.
Because all the information was there. Yeah. Okay, negative things. Not a lot of news. It was kind of slow at the beginning.
Yeah.
Then it caught up a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the only real... I'm trying to think of a real complaint I had that's not nitpicking from my end. I can't really think of... I mean,
they should have. It relied on some nostalgia, mostly nostalgia. There wasn't a lot of new stuff, but I think they did pretty well for a nostalgia fest. It was a pretty good nostalgia fest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's some nostalgia fest where you can kind of tell they're sort of pandering,
a really high budget fan film almost with better act. Yeah, well, that's implied, but yeah, you know what I mean. It was a really It was like a good, really high budget fan film, kind of almost. I mean that in a good way, because there's some really good fan films out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought so. Okay, the AT-ATs. I thought that's the only thing that I can think of right now that seemed a little pointless. Why? Because you can kind of understand the AT-ATs on Hoth,
because there's nothing there but snow.
Yeah, it's just snow, but. There was but in this one there was trees, there was buildings and all this stuff. They'd have to, I don't know. It just seemed like they would. How would they get? It doesn't seem like that type of terrain to have a giant 4-legged robot vehicle.
Yeah, a 4-legged tank.
It didn't seem like the right terrain. I think they mostly just had those in there because AT-ATs are cool.
Yeah. Well, then again, I mean,
kind of like with the C-3PO R2-D2 cameo.
Yeah.
There they are. There they were. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just... Yeah, you only see them for maybe 2 seconds, and it's just C-3PO saying, "Oh, R2-D2, I think this is terrible."
And the great thing about the original trilogy and The Force Awakens is there's a lot of back and forth between the characters. There's not a lot of that in this movie.
No.
And I'm not saying they got to be I know it's a darker movie, but they could have had something just to give us more character. Give us more character.
Because I mean, with the main character, what's her name again? Jen.
Yeah.
I think that my big complaint about her is that she always, she's had a very rough, upsetting life, but it's like she has like the straight face badass, but shows very little emotion. Which
I think I might have liked her better. Nah, never mind. Okay. We're gonna wrap this up, I think. Mike.
Yeah.
Why don't you just say what you said while I muted this?
Well,
not muted while I paused it.
Well, I think the one thing I'll say is that I thought it was a decent movie, and I would have liked it more if the characters had more emotion, because I kind of had that sort of emote, but almost one step away from being bland, which that kind of annoys me. The emotionless badass.
I think they were just a bit above bland.
Yeah,
and they were
dangerously close.
But but unlike with I don't like sand. It was what they were saying. Actually seemed like.
Yeah, it's
believable, and they actually gave a crap.
Yeah, it's like the voices sound believable, but the face had one expression the whole time.
I don't know about that, but they were decent characters. They weren't great characters. I can barely actually remember any of their names. Okay, that's all for spoilers. I hope you enjoyed our incoherent rambling about our opinions on this movie. Next time we'll try to be more coherent, I suppose, and more organized.
I guess for the next movie we'd be doing this for is whatever Marvel movie's coming out this year.
Yeah. We still need to see Doctor Strange. Maybe we'll do that.
Okay, yeah. I guess that might be the next one we do, and hopefully we'll sound more professional and coherent.
Okay, and we're just going to end this now, I guess. May the Force be with you.
Yeah.
Peace!
See ya.
God, we're awkward.